Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to another video. Today we're here for episode number 75 of Goattville Updates, and here we are once again back in the downtown area of the city. And in the previous video I mentioned I was going to start work on a new area, some new skyscrapers, new buildings and stuff like that over here towards the the really downtown kind of area. I guess the nightlife district you could even say. And yeah, I sort of was going to start out by planning things, but I ended up building the majority of it. I'd say I'm about halfway done with everything that I said I was going to start working on in the last episode. So we've gotten a whole lot of progress done in the past week or so. And I decided to just for this video, I just go through and show everything that I've done. In case you didn't see the last episode, this area is going to be sort of this tribute to Dan Lags, who's another Minecraft YouTuber. I guess I should say was. He's not dead or anything, but he hasn't made a video in, I guess it's been like 2 years, I think. But he was one of my main inspirations for starting this channel and, helped me a lot with building. If you look at some of my cities from 2013, they were nothing compared to this. I made a video early on my channel, I think, touring a city that I worked on a little bit back before I started watching him, and it's like nothing compared to this. But yeah, that's what I decided to do, because September 14th is coming up, and that is the 7-year anniversary of the start of his main series on his channel called Constructing Los Angeles, which is a pretty similar series to this, except his is more building, but this one is just more touring through things. It's just a gradual tour of the progression of everything I built. So here's the main building. I'm not going to get through all the references that I've managed to squeeze in, because I've put in a lot of small little details. Like, I guess I'll just start with this. I'll mention most of them in like the main showcase video that I make once it's all finished. But in just this area, this sort of base area, this base of the skyscraper is similar to the brown skyscraper which he made in Los Angeles, and it's all in the same color scheme as the Alpine Mansion, with even the anvils with the spruce leaves on top of that. And then this eagle is a reference to one of his other characters in another video game that he played. And it's a whole bunch of random little things that I'm trying to put in, and I'm trying to make it as subtle but still somewhat, I guess, how would you say it? I guess it makes sense. You'd be able to tell that it is if you're familiar, but without it, it still looks like a completely unique build that blends in with the rest of this. So here's the first one. This is just going to be a set of office buildings. And you come in here, and it's just a typical sort of staircase, a pretty small lobby, but that's because we have shops on the other bits of the first floor, so I couldn't have too much space for the lobby of this. And in here we got, each floor has 2 areas for offices. Here's the first one, and I'm leaving all these open. Normally I would furnish them before I'd stack all the floors on top of each other, but I'm going to make these unique businesses that appear in Los Angeles. So those are going to be little more references there, a couple of restrooms right there because you got to have those. And we just have 2 of them, pretty similar. This one is pretty much exactly the same thing, except a little bit smaller. And at the end of each one is a simple little storage closet, just because I had some space there in the corner. And that's all I could figure out what I could put in there. Now let's make our way over to the other building, because that basically is it for this building. It's just pretty much all empty. I guess I can fly around the exterior a little bit more. Like, I love the way this eagle turned out. It's actually quite nice and pretty compact. I'm glad it didn't turn out to be anything absolutely massive. And yeah, it's a pretty standard building. It's got a pretty considerable amount of detail in comparison to the other skyscrapers, like a whole lot of windows and stuff like that. And I like that. Maybe I should try doing that some more, a little bit more. So yeah, I'm really glad with the way this one turned out. And then right here, as we make our way down this little pedestrian road right here, there's a little square right here for just a little bit space. It's like a little inlet right here, so it's not just one massive block of building right here. There's even a path which leads through to the other road down there. But I guess I put a little detail over here, which is, I guess, outside of the main area, and it's a reference to his fantasy castle build. So we just have the tree of life with the little fruits coming down. It's different than how he had it on his build, but of course, I'm trying to make it unique. I'm not just trying to copy everything that he's doing, putting my own spin on it, just like I put my own spin on in terms of this building style, because this isn't so much what his building style is. His was more modern, which is what makes these buildings a little bit I'm not too sure if I'll get used to them, but they are kind of strange in comparison to the rest of the buildings here. Like those other buildings are traditional, kind of what you'd find in maybe New York City. Meanwhile, this is something a bit more modern. And of course, there's a reference to the Eclipse Tower and the Mirage Apartments, I think, which is also in Los Angeles. And I decided to put them there because, of course, those are some pretty iconic builds from his city. And did I mess that up? Do I have to put another layer? I do have to put another layer. How did that happen? It was the same on this first floor. Well, that shouldn't be too hard of a thing to fix. But yeah, right here, this is an apartment building. While it does look like while it does take inspiration from two separate buildings, it is actually all one. Both of these are pretty much the same apartment building, and these are all finished. So we can have a little walk through him. I guess all finished aside from the main entrance because it's still all dark and empty in here. But I do have the stairs which lead up, so let's take a look at one of the apartments. So there's two on each floor, and both of them are unique. So over here, before we even get into the apartments, there's a little laundry area right here. Just saved me some space in the apartments, so a good use of that corner right there. And then in here, it's a pretty simple apartment. Each one's got a balcony, or pretty small balcony, so just a small little touch right there. Over here is a small little bathroom. I guess I think the only one. There's only one bathroom in each apartment. A small little dining table right here by the window. And over here is a small kitchen, trying to keep everything compact but still looking good, which was a bit of a challenge, especially with the weird shape that these apartments ended up turning out as. And there's a little space for a living room right here. And then, of course, this will be the bedroom, and a small little desk right there, and a closet as well with nothing really inside of it. So yeah, that would pretty much be it for that apartment. Let's go over to the other one, which is just on the other side of the hallway, all the way over here. And this one was a bit more of a challenge. It has much more of an abstract shape, but I think I managed to figure it out. Balcony is right over here, and you got a bit more space. It curves around here in a bit of an L shape and overlooks a little bit of the main Plaza. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that, but doesn't really matter, I think. And over here is a very compact kitchen. It's a little bit of a weird shape, but I managed to fit everything in there. Dishwasher, that's supposed to be a microwave or something. Little oven, sink, refrigerator, all that stuff. So I managed to squeeze everything in there, so I guess not too bad. This little living room, I guess, with quotation marks, was probably the biggest challenge. I went through so many different design variants in this room, but I just put the couch over here, not next to the television, as it would be, that'd be a more ideal decision, but just couldn't find the space to put it in there. But that's all right. Has a bit more of a larger dining area, so I guess that's not too bad. Over here is the bathroom, sort of over in the corner of this one. And then here is the first bedroom, I guess the master bedroom. And then over here is a second bedroom. And this one I made to basically be I guess maybe a child's bedroom who's a fan of the Los Angeles Laggers, which is the football team that's in Los Angeles. And it's probably going to be something similar to my next project here on Goattville once I'm finished with this. So maybe we'll see how that turns out. I'm not too sure if I'll get around to that. But yeah, that's basically what this apartment is. Let's close that door. Each apartment on top of this is, of course, exactly the same, just copy and paste all the way up. And then I guess I can go over some of the plans that I have for the other buildings we have here. Up here on the roof, I'm going to put a mini golf course. I think that'd be kind of fun. All the other skyscrapers have just plain gray roofs. I think this one would be nice with a mini golf course. That'd be kind of fun. And then over here, this is going to be another building about similar in size, maybe the same in height. I think maybe a little bit smaller, I'd say. And this would just be another sort of blend of different styles and other things. So it's going to be something pretty similar. Hopefully they don't look exactly identical. So yeah, hopefully that turns out how that is. But here on the ground level, we got a couple shops. Because this sort of street is filled with shops, we got them all going down that way. So of course we're going to need to put some here. Here we have another leather, which is a clothing shop. We got a couple mannequins on display, just a bunch of carpet put down here to resemble clothing. A couple mannequins up there as well. And it's even got 2 floors because there's just so much space in here that I decided I could put a second floor on here. It's a small little second floor, but it's still something. And we even got a couple of changing rooms right there, just 2 small, simple ones, really. Nothing special there. Probably should put like a bench or something in there. I totally forgot about that, but that'll be simple to add. And then over here, we got a flower pot coffee shop, which is just a very, very compact and narrow little shop right here. I managed to fit in a couple tables and a little queue line to lead up to this very tight sort of kitchen. I've never really been inside a coffee shop, so I don't know what sort of things go in there, so I just threw a bunch of stuff down there. Hopefully it's something, a bit realistic. So that was the deal with that, but I'm not with the way it turned out. It was a very narrow space, so glad we could figure that out. In here, we're going to have a small bank, a very small, I guess, branch. It'll be something similar to this bank, where it's just sort of, you got an office right there, space for a vault, I guess, and a little reception desk right there. So a pretty small bank. I think I'm going to make it the Nether Bank. There's a larger skyscraper over on the other side of the city for that, but it's going to have some other branches around here. And then over here, we're going to have a Beacon Industries, which is a sort of like a tech shop, I guess, something similar to Apple. And over here, we're going to have another clothing store, which has its door over here on this side of the building. And I believe that's it for this building. On the other side, we're going to have Papa's Pizzeria, a nice Italian restaurant. We got some of the exterior done. We even got a dog right here. I don't know why this dog is here. I think it has a name tag, but I'm not too sure. Comet, right? That's his dog in real life. I'm not too sure if it's around, but hopefully it is. But yeah, here's a little wooden roof sort of thing right here. I'm not too sure what these are called, but it seems very Mediterranean style to have, so that's why we got that. And then in here we'll have plenty of space for Papa's Pizzeria. It'll be a whole lot more space than a whole lot more than the coffee shop, so we won't really have to worry about space there. And over here we're gonna have another little shop on the corner, and then here we're gonna have a corner store, which would be something like a supermarket. Not really. In Germany, they're called kiosks, which are basically corner stores. They're open 24 hours. They're a bit grander than a 7-Eleven, but not as grand as a full-on grocery store. So that's what we're going to have there. And there's even going to be a small little, I guess, pharmacy next to it, because we don't have anything like this in the city so far. And according to the number of, apartments and skyscrapers and apartments, hotels, office buildings, and stuff like that, there's going to be a lot of people here, and they got to stay alive somehow. So that's why I got that there. And over here, we got a little sort of unloading area for all this other stuff, because we got to have some of that there. And yeah, on top of that, I think we're going to put some more residences on top of here. This general area has a lot of apartment buildings for a reason, because it's sort of like a very dense sort of part of the city, and I think that would kind of fit quite nice. Some of the larger, grander skyscrapers would have, offices and things like that. But aside from that, that will be pretty much it for this episode. I'll work on this for maybe the next week or two. Hopefully have the video out by September 14th, so we can have it out on time. I'm pretty sure I can do it. I mean, I pretty much built all of this within just a couple of days. But hopefully my speed, continues like that. And then the next project, I guess I'll sort of discuss some of my future plans. This video has been going on for quite long, but usually my videos are pretty short. So I guess for the people that are interested, I'll go over some of the future plans. And that is still in the city. We're not going to go back to the state park or whatever that I was working on over there. We're going to stay in the city, and we're going to start a new big project similar to the zoo, and it's going to be right here on this corner. No, on this corner. So yeah, this small road's going to come over to around here. We're going to have a little corner, and then right here, around the similar place where the zoo starts, we're going to have a stadium, which I think I've been pondering making a stadium for quite a while, but I never sort of thought it would be something reasonable to build because it would just take up way too much time. It'd be way too large of a project that I don't think I'd be that interested in. But now I'm starting to think I'll give it a try. I went through some of my older cities a couple weeks ago. I went on like a tour of some of the old cities that I built, and one of the common occurrences there were stadiums. Every now and again, that'd be some of the first things that I'd build. Not really I'd build, but that I helped on, because this was really the first city that I actually built. Usually they were collaborations with other people. But yeah, the stadiums on those worlds always turned out to be quite the disappointment. Put some pictures up on screen of a stadium that was built in 2014. So that was a year before I started the channel. And you can see just how minimal in quality it is. Just a whole lot of, simple block placing in straight lines and not a whole lot of detail. I did have a tour of a stadium that I built in 2015, about a year later, and that was after, of course, I started watching Dan Lags, and it was a bit of an upgrade, but still quite terrible. And it was, like an indoor hockey arena, which is kind of a ugly kind of design to build in Minecraft, just because it's hard to get the light to work on an indoor kind of stadium. So I'm going to be building an outdoor one. I'm going to try making it multi-use, because there's a variety of things that I think would be, that would work in there. And every now and again, I'll go back and sort of change what sort of stadium setup it has. I think that'd be kind of fun. But if I can't find a good plan for it, I'll just sort of stick to one. I'm not too sure exactly what it will be, but I think a stadium would be kind of fun to build. And just like the city, it's going to be sort of this classic, I guess, American style design. It's not going to be overly modern. It's not going to look like, overly smooth or like Frank Gehry or something like that. So yeah, we're going to keep it simple. I think it'll be kind of a fun project if I manage to plan it out correctly, and we'll stick to that project for like the remainder of the year. Hopefully we can finish it by like February or something. I'm not too sure, but I think having a nice large project here, something like that would be kind of fun to do. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. I think we're about to hit 2.6 thousand subscribers, so leave that in the comments if you made it this far. Just 2.6K. It'd be a completely random comment. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that is too random of a comment. People will pick up on that. What about what'd be a good word for the video? Just say hey Goat, nice video, and then like a smiley face. Yeah, so leave that in the comments if you made it this far. And yeah, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.